second one there. If you offer a choice with two results and one of those results ends the game, it's not really a choice. I had this fight in design all the time. We're like, well, no, it's totally got choices. If you do this, you die. Okay, maybe if you were playing an Infocom game. Very important. Let's think about the people playing things for different reasons. We call them the 4 pillars. And you have to think about that when you're looking at it. There's players who play for progression, they're leveling up, they're getting new equipment. There's players who play for story. To them, a reward is simply getting a new companion, a new quest opened up. There's players who want to look into the nooks and crannies everywhere, and there's players who are just there for a fight. If you can create quests that reward more than one playing style, you're doing okay. On cutscenes, well, I'm not going to go into cutscenes. There's lots of advice on whether they're a good idea or not. They can make things more cinematic. The con, of course, is that you're taking away some control each time. So we at Bioware are trying to figure out where to walk that middle ground of when's a good idea to have a cutscene. I am just going to show one final scene. It is towards the end of the plot where you find that the Lady of the Forest was in fact created by Zathrian, the head of the Dalish. He created her because she is the embodiment of the curse. He actually created the curse because his family was killed by humans a long time ago, and he took these humans and turned them into beasts because that's what he thought they were. You are beasts, you will be beasts. And so that they have lived under this curse for a very long time, and as long as she exists and he exists, the curse will continue to exist. And it is possible, there is another path where the player can convince them to take revenge upon the elves and kill them for having done this curse. But the idea is that here we have the elves who have done something reprehensible for good reasons. We have werewolves who are sympathetic. Suddenly the player has to make a decision over who he's going to support. And the idea is that this is a hard decision to make. It's an emotional moment, and I love this scene only because for the player who decides to try to convince Zathrian that no, this curse needs to end. The reason he's still alive after all these years isn't because he rediscovered immortality. It's because this curse has given him is extended his life. As long as the curse exists, as long as Lady of the Forest exists, he lives, and so that they are tied together. But it's possible to end it. And
No more. I cannot defeat you. Finish it. Kill him now.
No! Don't kill him! Please, lady, stop him!
No, Swift Runner. We will not kill him. If there is no room in our hearts for mercy, how may we expect there to be room in his?
I cannot do as you ask, Spirit. I am too old to know mercy. All I see are the faces of my children, my people. I cannot do it. Perhaps I have lived too long. This hatred in me is like an ancient, gnarled root. It has consumed my soul. What of you, Spirit? You are bound to the curse just as I am. Do you not fear your end?
You are my maker, Zathrian. You gave me form and consciousness where none existed. I have known pain and love, hope and fear, all the joy that is life. Yet of all things I desire nothing more than an end. I beg you, Maker, put an end to me. We beg you, show mercy.
You shame me, Spirit. I am an old man, alive long past his time.
Then you'll do it? You'll end the curse?
Yes, I think it is time. Let us put an end to it all.
See there, I don't think I need to explain it, just how much the werewolves cared about the Lady of the Forest. Big emotional scene, a lot of emotional payoff for the player who chooses to follow that particular path. There are, like I said, there are other ones to choose. For the person who's trying to generate a peaceful result, what could be better? I mean, there's still probably some art things that are going to be fixed as we go forward, but I think you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think I probably want to wrap things up. I've gone way over time. Anyway, are there any questions since I'm up here? No questions? Oh, sure.
System design versus theme. That's basically what I want to hear about. You talk about theme a lot and having the different plots and everything like that.
Right.
When you evolve systems, as we all know working in game development, it's highly iterative. There's system design and features that were once your most prominent become your C-class features in a game, and features that you had not expected, like say HK47 in a lovable character, however cynical he may be.
Right.
You wonder, like, sorry, I'm just trying to, I've lost myself for a second. Yeah, with the systems, that's right, the system design. Do you make way with the themes? Are your themes structured and rigid, or do you allow that iteration for gameplay? Because without following the great gameplay, then what good is your story?
Right. It's the same thing when we're taking into account features into the story. We're also thinking about the systems we need. It's like the systems, in this particular case, as an RPG, we got classes, certain the spells, and systems in turn is going to tell us, okay, this is what kind of classes and spells and things you're going to need to sort of talk about in terms of the story and the game world. We're going to incorporate those the same as we are in the features. Systems tends to come along a little bit later than very first it's the features, then it's the story, then comes the system. So in a way the story is sort of informing the system, but then there is a point where the system turns around and we are then adapting the story to take advantage of the kind of gameplay we need to do. Because you can't divorce them entirely, right? If I'm telling a story and I'm not thinking at all about the kind of gameplay I have, the player's going to notice the big disconnect. So you really, it's cyclical in a way, in that what I'm writing is going to inform systems. What systems is doing is going to inform my writing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You mentioned emotion in your games.
Yeah.
Do you go through a very deliberate emotion mapping process and sort of pace it out, or is it a natural process that comes from the story?
Well, part of it when we are looking at the individual, once we've divvied it up into the sections, right? And I say I want to do nature of the beast. This I want to talk about the duality of nature. You can see sort of the emotional point that's hitting, and we identify that that's what we're going for. And I think at a larger level, like the leads in the project, like myself and Mike Laidlaw, lead designer, and so forth, will look at, okay, this is the breadth across all the plots, the different emotions we are hitting. We want to make sure we're not hitting the same thing all the time or missing some important opportunities. So we're sort of on a sort of meta level, ensuring that we're getting the emotions down that we want. But I think there also comes a second stage later on, once, because I mean there's planning, and then you sort of have to see